Welcome back to a long overdue Microphone Monday. I'm your host, John Bailey, the voice. This is Microphone Monday in the studio with John Bailey. This is a long overdue Microphone Monday, and I apologize for that. But this Monday is all about me. So I'm going to play you a snippet of a interview that was done with me by Rebecca Michaels-Hoff. She's a wonderful voice actress from, I believe she's in Europe someplace, or France. Anyways, she has a great show on Blog Talk Radio called Love That Voiceover by Love That Rebecca, and she did a full hour interview with me, and I'm going to play you a clip here, and if you want to listen to the entire thing and subscribe and check it out every week, she's got great guests on, people from all over the business, a lot of great information there. You can check out the link in the description below, and as always, check out the awesome Ripped Apparel t-shirts by going to rippedapparel.com. And I'm also offering coaching now. My schedule still stays pretty busy, especially this time of year is usually the busiest in movie trailers. So if you want to schedule something with me, you go to my website, johnbaileyvo.com. And for $25 via PayPal, I will tell you my entire story. Not the interview version, not the clips that you hear on Good Morning America or anything else. You get the entire full story. I help you to tell you about how I got into the business, how you can get into the business, what you might need, try to help you avoid some of the pitfalls, some of the negative things that are in the business, and talk about some of the good things in the business. So you get up to 2 hours for $25 via PayPal. And anyways, so hope you enjoy this clip from Love That Voiceover.
Thank you for joining us on
Love That Voiceover,
where we explore the people and projects behind the microphone in depth.
I am your chic, geek, unique host, Love That Rebecca.
Hi, this is the big gun, Ed Victor. Keep listening to Love That Voiceover with Rebecca. I know I will.
Let's move forward to a different part of the VO world. Who do you most admire? Yeah, in the industry.
Peter Cullen has been the biggest inspiration in my life. I have a list, a very short list of my top favorite voice actors that are heroes. Met them, most of them in person. They're just great to talk to. They always have great advice. The short list is like Kevin Michael Richardson, John DiMaggio, Rob Paulson, Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, Jim Cummings, Tom Kane. There's a couple of others. Tom Kenny. Yeah. These guys they're just glad that they're able to do what they do. They're honored that people are fans of their work, because to them it was just a job. Most of them, other than ones that are working now, but the ones that worked 30 years ago, some of them still work today, like Frank Welker. Yeah. They had no idea that they had a fan base. Not a clue. It was just a paycheck for them. Yeah. And to get paid to play, because that's really what they do. Yeah. Especially some of these guys like John and Kevin. You do not want to get in a studio with those two working together, because you won't get any work done. They'll be making everyone laugh and cutting up. Frank Welker likes to pull pranks. He likes to see, Peter spit water out of his nose. He waits to do funny things, and waits till he takes a drink. It's like his main goal in life is to make Peter Cullen spit milk.
That is hysterical.
Or whatever he's got.
So you learned all of these different voices, and that's called mimicking sometimes, but you sound like you turned it into your own life. It's like the other, but it's not really the other anymore. True?
They started off as imitations, and then with just some fine tuning, and it really didn't come from coaches. Actually, it came from just producers that I worked with. They just tweaked here and there until they got something that they really liked that became what they called the moneymaker voice, and then that's just the one I use. So
fantastic.
Yeah. And
I wanted to also mention, in doing some of my research for this little chat that we're having, I listened to some of John's work as the movie trailer voice, like action adventure, I guess horror, and then there's this other voice for the romantic comedy side. Can you give us the flavor of those two next to each other? Is that easy for you to do?
Yeah, well, there's two different versions of the romantic comedy voice, but the horror action, that's all very similar. There's just variations of the same voice, but it's usually one that I did recently, The Call, on Blu-ray and DVD, rated PG-13. And that one, if it's a horror movie, then it's way lower, like The Last Exorcism, rated R. And yeah, so and if it's a lighter, if it's more like 21 Jump Street on Blu-ray and DVD, it's the same voice, it's just different pitches, really.
Yeah.
And then the romantic comedy voice is just It's just a softer version, but there's two different versions that they usually get me to do. There's the one that I call the ABC Family Guy voice.
The Smurfs on Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one's basically the Hal Douglas.
It's the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Part 2.
Is he the one that did the Up trailer? I feel like he did that one.
No, that's Tom. Tom Kane does most of the family trailer. He's the one that does all the family trailer movies. He's usually the Pixar guy. So yeah, Tom Kane does most of those.
Oh God, I love that stuff.
And if it's funny, then he'll do something like Harold and Kumar Christmas Special. He does.
That's great.
It's funny, yeah. But yeah, that's the ones that he usually does. Hal Douglas is the one that did the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. He's also did the Odd Life of Timothy Green.
That's great. Let's unveil some of the mystery in terms of movie trailer voices, because this is a subject of much discussion between male voiceover talent. And since I'm a female, I can jump in the fray and not be really involved. So tell us if I should characterize it, I will say this, that it's a very small, exclusive group. And you've alluded to that, stated that in some way, shape, or form, either here in this forum or in other forums. And can you elaborate on the niche set that this is?
The niche.
The niche.
I think that as far as I've heard, there's only just maybe over a dozen guys that actually get booked for movie trailers.
Right.
And I work in the same venue, I guess I should say, with a couple of them. Bo Weaver, Tom Kane, they're both with Cope Management.
Okay.
And so Bo Weaver does the
two-headed snake.
He does that documentary style almost. He's the very narrative type announcer.
Right.
Of course, Tom Kane's got that the straight family sound.
Right.
And then there's Jim, and then there's a club within the club that I want to be in, and I'm working on it. But there's that's very small group of movie trailer voice actors that also do cartoon voices, like Jim Cummings does both.
Both movie trailers, 14 on TBS. Very funny. It's The Big Bang Theory. Weeknight nights at 7. But he also does all these cartoon characters. So there's and Peter Cullen, he used to do a lot of movie trailers. In fact, there's several movies that I bought just because DVDs, the only features they had back then were just the movie trailer.
Yeah.
And he did the trailer for it, so I bought the whole DVD just to hear him say,
Lost in Space, rated PG-13.
Now, I'm going to stay focused this time. We're going to not waste your valuable time, because you're so much fun to listen to, and I know you're having a blast.
Yeah. Because of the power of the internet, anybody that wants to be a voice actor and has an internet connection, a computer, and a microphone can do this job, if they have skills, of course. So there's several options out there. The option that I had went with before I got an agent and a manager was voices.com, because you can pay by the month rather than one big lump like Voice 123. But both are good options. A friend of mine has gotten several video game jobs from Voice 123. The guy that did the Spanish Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story 3 got the job through Voice 123. So big clients on that site. And the biggest difference is they're all non-union, and you're up against so many other people. I mean, you're literally up against 500 to 1,000 people.
The question, that's a separate issue. We could spend half an hour talking about pay to place, and a lot of people do already. So,
we're going to. So sit back and relax. But yeah, that was the option. If you don't go to LA, that was it.
Yeah.
But then I heard Pat Fraley, which you can go to Pat Fraley. He's a great coach. PatFraley.com.
Great coach.
He suggested that you just type in studios or you do a search for post-production in your hometown, and you'd be surprised what you find. And I found a half dozen local studios here, and I've gotten a lot of work through them as well. So I was like, wow, they're studios in Memphis. So if you live next to a major city, there's good chance that there are studios out there, because if somebody can afford ISDN or something like that, they'll probably put a studio up, because there's not a lot of people out there that have that just sitting in their home.
Right.
I don't even have ISDN. I still use Skype as a phone patch. They think it's a phone patch, but it's Skype. They don't.
All right. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We will be back next week